Okay. So this is my log file. Okay, if I go down, scroll down to the bottom. Okay. It is telling import status success. Okay, and this job is question quad scheduler worker 10. Okay. See. You see some of the information right. HTTP Neo 8080 execute 5. Whenever you see this kind of information, that means it is a UI search. What I search in the UI that will come under this tag. Okay, some number, HTTP Neo 800, execution 6, 7, something like. It will be okay and your job always. It will print under your quad scheduler underscore work on under train or 9 or 8. Okay, it will be always like squad scheduler, underscore worker. If this is mentioned means you see, we ran a job, write this job. So how you gonna verify this job? Job where it ran. You have to always look like you know where the import started. Import stop. So it is telling job.user import job. Okay, we ran and it ended here. Okay. So what is the job? Name is started basically quad scheduler worker 10. So let's see where it started actually. Okay, so you see somewhere here, right? Quad scheduler underscore worker, 10 jobs. User import, start in user input job. So it started the job. Okay, once the job start, actually, for it is internal purpose. It used to create ID for it so that it can store and in the future if any requirement is there in the ECM import job, it can refer this ID. Okay, so each and every job whenever it ran, it used to create ID. So this is common for everything. Okay, so it's telling, start import user using external connection, which we had given right, and it is traveling through right. So user source value. This means is trying to process some this record and if you scroll down it is telling what is the username. I am using the key username. Basically it is CN equal to administrator right. And here you can see I'm setting a random password, right. They'll add it 1234 in the connection. I set it up right. I showed you, I set up a random password for here, for every user, this random password right. It is printing here in your log, okay, and if you come down right, you see some of the valuable information also here, right? So this is your job name, user import via connection. User import right. And it is telling a Zenit system username. I have mentioned false. That is true. And what is your connection name? The connection name is your Active Directory demo. This connection it is referring. Okay. And coming down, you see. So basically this is calling your Grail service. Some internal code. It is calling, okay, and this is your base value. So this is equal to come, this equal to save into. Okay, and what is my URL? I am passing here 1921.685.6389. So this is my URL. Okay. So if you scroll down here you see my user import parameter, what it is trying to accommodate. So this is the JSON what I passed here, right? All this is an income is passing here. And if you scroll down, okay, here it is telling, start importing add data. So before that it was validating all your prerequisite, whether everything present or not. After that it's in, it defines, or it say, yeah, I am going to start the input because I found whatever is required. So it is telling full import, job type, import type. I'm simply using the input user. Okay. And what is the space size by default? It is taking 1000. Okay, so don't consider this thing. Okay, because if you have more than 1 lakh page, that time. It will be processing, like 1,000 pages time. Okay. So, if you scroll down right, this is your parameter, reboot. For the connection. It is linked to mental company. So we don't have the incremental company. This is simple. What information we are passing. So if you scroll down, okay. So this is my object class. What default object class it is taking for activity? Okay. So this is your search filter, DC equal to come to SQL recipient. Okay. And import sub data user service started, so it is starting for importing the data. Right. So scroll down. And you see. If you scroll down right. User with username, admin doesn't exist. So creating one. So admin user also came to your user import. Okay. And adding user administrator to the batch it back process. This user okay. And after it is processing one by one user. You see user with name, user Saviynt 1110 and doesn't exit. So in my Saviynt system it is not there. So it is creating a one for me. Okay. Adding user to Saviynt to the batch. So it is just adding the user which is not present. So finally it will process. So you see Saviynt 102. Okay, those. This is we in user. So whatever user we had in our system, right? So everything it is trying to bring. Okay, all the record it is bringing here. So this user we created, right, it doesn't exit. So it is bringing also this user. So finally right. Okay, so at how much user? It even see it is trying to generate the email address for you at the red pace of okay, if your email ID is not present. Okay, it is trying to generate also. So let's see what else user it bring right. So if you scroll down right, go to down. Okay, where it is telling your job and okay. And you see how much total record process it would have shown you number of log entries to be sent 13. Total time taken to execute this, most of time it is taken. Okay, and sleeping. Okay, here it would have somewhere mentioned this much of record process. So building user, okay, processing. So you see right number of user inserted, 9. Number of record found in feed. Okay, total number of user updated, 1. So the admin set user which was already present. That way it is updated and remaining 9 user, it got inserted. Okay, total of new number user came to 10. So if I go to now my saving system,